Good afternoon. Good afternoon to all the kings and queens of this land. Good afternoon to the royals. Good afternoon to all the ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon to the liberated zone of South Africa, KZN. Good afternoon to the liberated zone of Africa, Burkina Faso, under the leadership of Ibrahim Traore. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to Mali, under the leadership of Asim Goita, Liberated Zone. Good afternoon to Niger, under the leadership of uh, President Abdullah Haman Tian. Good afternoon. Does not look like I'm live. I'm not sure if anyone is able to see me. I'm not sure if anyone is able to see me on this live. Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, however, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Please comment. Please give me a comment. If you are here, give me a comment. If you can hear, if I am live indeed, give me a comment. I can't really tell if anybody is able to hear me, see me, or talk to me. Please give me a comment on the comment section. Just say hi, so that we can dive into the issue that we are talking about today. Advocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane leaving the EFF, announcing that she's leaving the EFF uh, for other causes, which she did not mention what is the reason. But she said for other courses, she wished she would be working on the United Nations, human rights organizations, things like that. That's what she was wishing for, but she knows that is impossible. So sorry for that. I'm so sorry for the noise. It's actually there's a manufacturing next door. There's a manufacturing factory next door. If you can hear me, there's a manufacturing factory next door. Let me check what is happening here. It's like I can't see the people joining. I can't see the comments. I can't see anything. I don't know if it's. I'm not even sure if I'm actually live. Uh, Tell me if I'm. Give me. Give me a comment if you can see me. Or if you can hear me.
Establishing commission of inquiry.
Yeah.
And there were some matters which were referred to NPA or something like that. And indeed, the Public Protector Act is very clear that you can refer a matter to any other institution during the investigation or on completion of the investigation. I did the same thing with the CR17 matter, where I referred the certain parts of the investigation set to NPA and even the rogue unit, the so-called rogue unit matter. I referred the other elements to the NPA because that matter was before court. Pillay, Richter and Van Logerenberg were appearing before court. So I thought they will proceed with that. So then Lambo, I mean, there's a recording. History has no blank pages where it says Madonsela was the Public Protector, nothing, the Public Protector Act. Then with me, no, you can't do that. That's firstly. Secondly is the issue of Judge Bakwa. Okay, told me, I said the issue of Friede, that I changed Madonsela's report. Then it became clear I never changed the report. And we presented all the information. I think was defended by Ungalwane and another SC, I don't remember. It's a lady. Then come the Bakwa issue of the so-called rogue unit, which he says, and taking what the defendants were saying, that I said I never saw the Inspector General's report. I'm saying that in my report. I never said that in my report. I was very clear. We met, we discussed the report. It was delivered anonymously in the office. And then that's another issue. The issue of the Concord, where they said I was dishonest. I never disclosed the Economist report. And again, there I clarified I made a mistake of the meetings I had with the presidency, because it was 2 meetings. And again, not with the president on this matter of CX. The first one was a meet and greet. The second one was discussing that they requested a meeting. Now, the Economist we only used during the litigation, not during the process for that, but the people whom I consulted during the investigation, it was there in the report. It was the late good son, because the one who wrote that book, The Operations of the Internal of the Reserve Bank. And we conducted comparative study to check what the Reserve Bank of South Africa compared to the other countries, whether their Reserve Bank is also provided for in the Constitution or not. And South Africa is one of the few, because we were checking how can this be changed, again, for the benefit of the public, because public was prejudiced by the conduct of Bank-Op, ABSA, and them. Now, they said I'm dishonest and personal costs. And factually, and that I was hiding meetings, whereas that was not written by me, that was written by the investigator. And we availed all the information there. Now I'm undergoing that perjury matter, because, they bring everything to make sure. The issue of Bakwa I've addressed. Now is the issue of the West one as well. I think it was Jafta and the Executive Members Ethics Code. And I was referring to the code which was used in the Nkandla judgment. Now I was blamed for that. We tried to even say reconsider, because here's the proof. Again, I was portrayed as if I'm just this rogue person, because that's what the system portrayed me to be. Incompetent, I don't know the law, now use the courts to portray that. And anyway, I would say they've succeeded, because I was finally removed using those, again, judges. And the other matter was the behavior of Judge Zondo, former Chief Justice. When one journalist, it was clear that he knew one of the judgments of the Concord, and we had even the SMS Yaga Abramchi telling the SC of Parliament that no, that matter will be thrown out, don't worry. I was still in the Public Protector, wrote to the Chief Judge, because that is not a judgment. Remember, Public Protector cannot investigate court decisions, but that is a conduct, improper conduct by a judge, because that is a state institution. Then he decided not, because I had even a proof that there were communication between Mlambo, Judge Jody Kolapen, and this person about that. and we have Hlophe being impeached for saying, "We trust in you." I had that evidence. Zondo then decided to speak to Mpati, Judge Mpati, to look into that matter. Again, wrongly so, because I issued a report that this is what I found, deal with it. Then Mpati just said, no, there's no evidence. Instead of taking that report to court, because whatever is reviewed should be reviewed by the court. Yena decided to do that. I mean, the closure or the sealing of the CR17 records, why do we?
History still have to record the truth about Advocate Mkhwebane. History still has to record history still has to record the truth. The first black woman to be persecuted by the European system. The first black woman to be persecuted by the European system in South Africa. The first black woman to be persecuted by the apartheid South Africa, by the imperialist. This has to be recorded in history. Advocate Mkhwebane, one of the things that we do here at the Royal Opinion is we record history the way it's supposed to be. We analyze politics for the sake of the future. We don't analyze politics for the sake of the stomach. We analyze politics for the sake of the future. History still has to record that Advocate Mkhwebane, the one who was impeached at the end of the day um, as public protector of South Africa, is the first black woman in South Africa to be persecuted by the Queen, to be persecuted by our colonial masters, and to be persecuted by the American intelligence in South Africa using the South African courts. Advocate Mkhwebane, Busisiwe Mkhwebane, going to reveal that she's leaving the EFF, revealing this in a podcast with Sizwe Mpofu, not with the mainstream media. Now, if you Google about the issue, the mainstream media is pushed forward ahead of Sizwe Mpofu, who broke the matter. The MK party intelligentsia will be recorded by history. South Africa will be liberated. The MK party cannot be stopped. Today we are talking about the reason why the Busisiwe Mkhwebane, Advocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane, has left the EFF. This is where she's talking about two contrary, the same judge who gave contrary judgments on similar issues involving the public protector. When it was involving Tulima Donsela, she gave a different judgment. He gave a different judgment. When it was Busisiwe Mkhwebane, he gave a different judgment, or exactly on the same question. So out of her intelligence, she goes into um, Sizwe Mpofu's podcast to reveal that she's leaving the EFF. She's left the EFF because the EFF first is a sellout organization. Let me check if I cannot. First, let me continue to share this video. I want to show you one video that I got it
within
right
chambers.
once again.
Because we were the litigants, we objected to that. They should have made an application. So I would say a number of things, which I would say, to me, it's evidence that was that fair? Is that supposed to be the case? Is one supposed to be treated like that? No. The current Chief Justice Maya, in the one of the matter which was before the Western, in fact, the
SCA.
it went to the Concord.
Right.
Then it was which matter, or that matter, when the 3 judges at Western Cape said the suspension was unlawful
Right.
after the 31 questions
Yes.
of Phala Phala.
Yes.
Then they said, no, we need to make an application, Section 18 application to implement that. Then that judgment delayed for more than 8 months, which again, their time frame, it's supposed to be 6 months. It went way above. I think I lodged even a complaint with the JSC. No response, nothing. Why are they delaying? Now she comes back as well. She issued a judgment. Actually, Umaya, on all the matters which appeared before the SCA, she was the president of the SCA. I think several matters where she also found against the institution, or even where we requested reconsideration on certain matters. She never. This one, there were things you mentioned during the judgment that actually even bringing the issues about Basing Kabinde, that she was appointed, she found prima facie, which was nowhere in the papers. We were dealing with purely the issue, Uguti, the suspension, was it lawful or not? And I must say that matter is before the AU Commission, especially whether the National Assembly was it correct to use a judge to conduct against the state, a Chapter 9 institution now, not the president, a Chapter 9 institution. So we're still waiting for the outcome. So for me, those are the examples I'm giving. Appearing before Bonan, he was so dismissive. So, I mean, you just go.
Let's talk about the EFF. I'll just compare with the maybe 3 or 4 political parties which are already there, which are at the top already. And so number 1, I will compare with the EFF. The politics of the EFF are about the expropriation of land without compensation, and the concept of socialism from the Eastern Europe perspective, from China and Russia, where they talk about Lenin and Fanon and all of those things that they're talking about. But in reality, they are not talking about anything which can actually assist black people. They are talking about improving black poverty. They were talking about increasing the social grants to 3,500, for instance, increasing social grant to 3,500 500, and they still want to use the Western standards to determine who should get more in South Africa. They still want to use education. They talk about if somebody is a graduate, they will earn more social grant. They're not talking about people getting jobs. So, and white people have become rich in South Africa by doing business with the state. So the policy of the EFF, which says the tenders should be abolished, it's against the development or the economic freedom of the black man. Again, that policy is against uh, because black people should be allowed to tender just like white people were allowed to tender and make lots of money. So in actual fact, you won't be able to make to become billionaire without doing business with the state. If you are not doing business with the state, it's going to be very difficult for you as a black person. And I don't know anyone who has ever done it without doing business with the state. So basically, the policies of the EFF have been rendered null and void by Umkhonto Wesizwe party, which does better radical politics because it talks about expropriation of land without compensation and taking land back to the kings because the
Go and listen to that. You don't give an applicant an opportunity to present their case. Well, I think he wanted to just dismiss immediately. But then we presented our side. Then at the end of the day, you're striking off the.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what I shared. That is the what I shared. Some that is the information. That is what I actually shared some 4 months or 5 months ago. That the EFF it's a sellout organization, and that the EFF will not be able to grow its membership beyond this election. So the EFF has sold out. That's why Busisiwe Mkhwebane is moving out of the EFF. But in actual fact, what is happening? Um, Busisiwe Mkhwebane is moving out of the EFF to join MK Party. The reason Busisiwe Mkhwebane is joining the MK Party is because the MK Party will send her to Parliament to the JSC to replace Judge John Hlophe. The reason the EFF, the reason Busisiwe Mkhwebane is leaving the EFF, it's because Busisiwe Mkhwebane is joining the MK Party and will be sent to Parliament to replace Judge John Hlophe. Say you heard it first at the royal opinion. Say you heard it first at the royal opinion. This is going to happen and it's going to be breaking news in the coming week or in the coming days. We will hear this. Busisiwe Mkhwebane will go to parliament through MK Party and will be sworn in and will be sent to the JSC just to prove that DA will continue to try and control the people who are um, uh, delegated by other political parties to the people who are delegated by other political parties to the legislature or to parliament. Remember who was responsible for removal of Busisiwe Mkhwebane is Helen Zille, the Democratic Alliance, who is responsible for impeaching Judge Hlophe, is Helen Zille, the Democratic Alliance, who is responsible for removal of President Zuma, is uh, Helen Zille, the Democratic Alliance. The removal of Jacob Zuma from presidency, Helen Zille and the Democratic Alliance responsible. The removal of President Zuma from the MK party, Helen Zille is the responsible party to remove. So Helen Zille and the Democratic Alliance have been given the right to edit the list of other parties by law. So the MK party wants to expose the system that the Democratic Alliance have got control over other political parties. Now they've recruited Advocate Mkhwebane to take her to Parliament in order to replace Judge John Hlophe. No, I'm not sure. I'm not able to communicate. I'm not able to see even the comments. I'm not able to communicate because of the my live stream. I don't understand what is happening there. That is why, like, I'm a little bit confused. That's why today I'm looking a little confused. It's because of my live stream here. It's acting, and I have to end this live stream because it's like I can't. I don't understand what's going on. I can't see even if I've got people who are listening, or I'm just talking alone, or I'm recording or not even recording, live or not live. I'm not even sure. I can't see any comment. So, like, I'm feeling a little confused sometimes. But say you heard it at the royal opinion. Say you heard it first at the royal opinion. Busisiwe Mkhwebane will join the MK party to be sent to parliament, to be a delegate in the of the MK party in the JSC. It will happen in the coming days. It will happen. Thank you very much for joining this live stream. I think something is not going well. Maybe I'll come back later.